I see her throughout the year a couple of times. We do some events together, and so I kind of keep track of her. And ABC decided to pick it up for another year.
It started with love at first sight, but ended with bitterness, and something people may want to describe as hatred at last sight. The best Hollywood couple ended their marriage, and a few months after their separation, something was revealed, which was juicier than any Hollywood storyline. It was one of the biggest betrayals in Hollywood's history. People still drop their jaws when they hear this story, and Lee Majors, one of the finest of his time, decided to admit the truth about his ex-wife, Farrah Fawcett. So what happened to the former couple? What is the truth that keeps lingering? Stick around as we explore the journey of the couple and what Major Lee had to reveal about his ex-wife. Who was Lee Majors before Hollywood? Harvey Lee Yeary, who is better known as Lee Majors, came into the world on the 23rd of April 1939 in Wyandotte, Michigan, just outside Detroit. Unfortunately, his father passed away during a work accident just 5 months before he was born, and his mother lost her life in a car crash when he was just about 17 months old. At just 2 years old, his uncle and aunt, named Harvey and Mildred Yeary, took him into their home in Middlesboro, Kentucky. As he grew up in Middlesboro, Lee discovered his undying passion for sports, and he never left track and football during his high school years. He graduated in 1957 and took his talents to Indiana University for some seasons. However, in 1959, he made a move to Eastern Kentucky University. It was in the university that he played his first college football game, only to face a very serious setback when a serious back injury left him paralyzed for 2 weeks and put an end to his dreams of athleticism. That incident may have made Lee shift gears and turn to the acting industry, so he graced the stage at the Pioneer Playhouse in Danville, Kentucky. He eventually wrapped up his college journey with a degree in history and physical education in 1962, originally aiming to become a football coach. After graduating, he got a juicy offer to try out for the St. Louis Cardinals football team. But instead of taking that path, he decided to go to Los Angeles, where he got a job as the recreation director at North Hollywood Park. This job opened up a whole new world for him, and he started connecting with actors and industry insiders, including Dick Clayton, who had once been James Dean's agent. Dick saw potential in him and encouraged him to enroll in an acting school. After a year of training and honing his craft, Dick was confident that Lee was ready to make his mark in the acting world. It was during this time that he adopted the stage name Lee Majors, which was inspired by his childhood hero, Johnny Majors, an incredible player and future coach at the University of Tennessee. To be a professional, he also studied at Estelle Harmon's acting school at MGM. Lee was an incredible actor who had a huge heart for Hollywood. Before we continue, we need to know more about Farrah, so hang on as we go deeply into her life before Hollywood. Farrah Fawcett, before the lights and stage. Mary Farrah Lenny Fawcett was born on the 2nd of February 1942 in Corpus Christi, Texas, where she was the younger of 2 sisters. Her mother, named Pauline, was a skilled and committed homemaker, while her father, James, worked as an oil field contractor. Her family has a rich heritage that included Irish, French, English, and Choctaw Native American roots. Farrah once stated that her unique first name, Farrah, was actually coined by her mother because it came out nicely with their last name. She eventually decided to change it to Farrah. Farrah was brought up in the Roman Catholic faith, and she started her formal education at St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church School in her hometown. She graduated from W.B. Ray High School, where her classmates voted her as the most beautiful every year, from freshman to senior. After high school, she attended the University of Texas from 1966 to 1968, initially studying microbiology before she decided to transition to art. There, she developed a close mentoring relationship with her favorite professor, Charles Umlauf, who eventually became a huge part of her success story. In 2017, some of her artwork got featured in an exhibit at the Umlauf Sculpture Garden and Museum in Austin, celebrating their bond. During her first year of college, Farrah made huge waves by being named one of the 10 most beautiful co-eds on campus, an exceptional achievement since it was the first time a freshman had received such an honor. Her beautiful photos caught the attention of a lot of Hollywood agencies, and very soon after, she received a call from David Mirisch, a Hollywood agent who encouraged her to make the leap to Los Angeles. Even though she initially turned him down, he didn't give up on her for the next 2 years. In the summer of 1968, she finally decided to take a chance on her dreams and move to LA. With her parents' blessing, she settled into the Hollywood Studio Club, ready and delighted to try her luck in the entertainment world, which would be the decision that changed her life for the better. Now, we have looked into their lives before the stage and lights. Let's explore their romantic story, how they met and got married, and the reason they had to separate. Their romance story. Was it love at first sight? Here is the beginning of one of the most interesting Hollywood romance stories. One evening, Lee was very busy working on a movie when his publicity agent, Dave Gershenson, stumbled on a picture of a young woman who had just arrived in Hollywood and was hoping to start her acting career. That woman was none other than the beautiful and talented Farrah. Like other men, Dave thought Lee would be mesmerized by this Texan beauty. But the first impression of Lee was quite the opposite, as she recalled that he was one of the rudest men she met at that time. This impression was from their very first conversation, which happened when Lee left a message on her answering machine at the all-girl boarding house where she was staying. The message was straightforward. Please tell her that Lee Majors will be by at 8 o'clock to pick her up. When they finally spoke, Lee apologized, saying, "I'm so sorry I left that message. You know, when you work on the set, you can't always get back to a phone, and I just didn't want you to make plans." She noticed that there was a hint of remorse in his voice and that here was a handsome actor who could easily have any girl in Hollywood. Still, he was interested in the new girl on the block. It looked like Lee really wanted to take her out, so she agreed to go out. Their night together was filled with weird silences and short conversations, just like naive and clumsy teenagers on a high school date. Farrah remembered that she wasn't much of a drinker, but ordered a scotch and coke. Sadly, she ended up feeling unwell and had to spend a lot of time in the ladies' room. Lee, who initially misinterpreted the situation, thought her discomfort was a sign that she didn't want to be there. In spite of the awkwardness, Farrah described her meeting as love at first sight. It was also the same feeling for Lee, and he decided not to let this amazing woman slip away. So he sent her a thoughtful gift of 13 yellow roses, the state flower of Texas. The very next day, Farrah was really touched by his gesture. From that moment onwards, the two became very close, frequently seen together at several Hollywood events and night spots in the following months. On the 28th of July, 1973, Farrah and Lee got married in a beautiful garden ceremony at the Bel Air Hotel. Lee's stepfather, Harvey Yeary, was his best man, while Farrah's sister, Diane Walls, was her matron of honor. The skilled costume designer named Theodora Van Runkel created stunning outfits for the bridal party. Their marriage came with its own set of rules that they had to come to terms with, including an agreement that Farrah would be home in time to cook for him. This might raise eyebrows today, but Lee said he approached it all with good intentions. He was also a bit skeptical about her entering the TV industry, which Farrah admitted she felt the same way about regarding him. Lee and Farrah agreed to build on their small-screen success by going into feature films. In order to do this, they launched their own production company, Fawcett Majors Productions, and produced 6 films together. As their TV careers got to its peak, they found it very difficult to run away from the clutches of the paparazzi. With the restless filming schedules for their respective shows, the time they could spend together started deteriorating. During this challenging period of their marriage, Lee said, "There was a year or so when I think I saw her 2 weeks in 1 year. It's very difficult with careers like that. This business is tough, working 14 hours a day, both of you, and the days went by." The pressures of Farrah's unexpected fame and demanding work dedication reportedly began to strain their marriage. As expected, grocery store gossip magazines were quick to publish often rumors about one or both of them, saying that they were out on dates or even that they were estranged, which further complicated their relationship. Eventually, Farrah announced her separation from Lee at the beginning of her nationwide tour to promote her upcoming movie titled Sunburn. At just 32 and after 11 years of marriage, she talked about her decision to move out of their Bel Air mansion. She expressed her confusion about the whole situation, saying, "I want to give both of us a little time to try to adjust to what has happened. I don't know if we will ever get back together again, and that scares me," she admitted. In another interview with People magazine in 1979, she stated, "I just can't go from city to city trying to pretend that Lee and I are carrying on business as usual. I remember trying to tell one reporter what I make for Lee's dinner and bursting into tears. I can't lie to people. I'm not pretending that I'm someone I'm not, or that I'm someone I used to be." Farrah also revealed that when she married Lee, his expectations included some traditional roles for a wife, like cleaning the house, cooking meals, and being solely dependent on him. Although she admitted she still loved cooking and keeping the house tidy, she realized she could no longer be dependent. She felt a sense of empathy for Lee, who was trying to be protective and understanding during this transition. Farrah and Lee officially separated in 1979, finalizing their divorce in February 1982. Their marriage was promising, but they had to separate. The question still remains, was there anything deeper? Was there another reason for their separation? What did Lee reveal about Farrah and their marriage? Take a snack as we answer these questions quickly. What Lee Majors revealed about Farrah Fawcett. It looked like they were good to go, and it was a mutual agreement to separate due to a few reasons. But there was more. The whole thing began to make sense a few years after their divorce in Toronto, where Lee was gearing up to shoot a Canadian thriller named The Last Chase. He was still introducing himself as the guy who used to be the Majors at the end of Farrah Fawcett when he ran into his old friend Ryan O'Neal, who people knew as Tatum's dad. Ryan was in town visiting his daughter, who was working on another project. The two didn't waste time to fall back into their old ways, reminiscing about their bachelor days in the 60s when Ryan starred in Peyton Place and Lee was in the Big Valley. "I thought we were once again quite close," Lee said, and he even promised to look after the 16-year-old Tatum while Ryan had to leave town. He said, "I told Ryan not to worry, I'd take her out to dinner, call her, and keep an eye on her." In return, Lee asked Ryan to check on Farrah when he got back to LA, thinking she might be feeling lonely and could need some friendship or companionship. However, he didn't know how right he was. Ryan, known decades back as Hollywood's most relentless womanizer, had been linked with more beautiful women than anyone could count, including Ursula Andress Puce, Barbra Streisand, Bianca Jagger, and even Diana Ross. But it wasn't long before Farrah's name joined that list. Lee was taken aback by the outcome of putting a wolf in charge of what he thought was still his henhouse. According to Lee, he was surprised how she got close to him in a short period. He continued, "Ryan really made a play for her. I called him and asked him to back off a bit. I can't," he told me. "I really love her." So I said, "Okay, buddy, if that's the way you feel." I haven't spoken with him since. Understandably, Lee was really bitter about the situation. Despite their tense relationship, he talked to Farrah on the phone at least once a day. Sometimes he picked up the tab, sometimes she did. But he claims not to have addressed the Ryan affair with her. He explained, "You've got to understand that I stopped directing Farrah a year and a half ago. She's determined to find her own way and her own answers now." On the bright side, this unfortunate incident did not affect his career, as he kept getting better and soaring higher. An agent named Jay Bernstein, whom both Farrah and Lee parted ways with, stated, "This is going to be a great year for Lee. He should have 3 pictures coming out that will undoubtedly make him a motion picture star." But Jay expresses concern that Farrah may face challenges in Hollywood until she stars in a small quality film that showcases her acting abilities. Lee, who has been so busy that he even turned down the coveted role of quarterback in North Dallas 40, shares, "I'd love to get my teeth into a good role. If people don't respond to me, I'll just drink away the pain." He saw his performances as a quirky ad man in Agency, a construction worker in Steel, and an aging X-race driver in The Last Chase to be his most successful efforts to date. He believes he still has the potential to be a younger, less expensive Steve McQueen. At the same time, he acknowledged the possibility that he might have to face life without Farrah. "I know there's a chance this might be the end," he admits, his voice tinged with regret, but not defeat. "I hope we will get back together, and honestly believe that we will." He even jokes about it, saying, "I may have to do a picture with Farrah one day, just to bail out her career." Years after the saga, he still expressed his love for her, and how he was ready to settle things with her. "I love Farrah, and I always will. There is nothing I would like better than for us to work out our problems." Meanwhile, Farrah, off on another leg of her publicity tour in New York, simply remarked, "I'm so uncertain, but I feel good and honest about myself." After more than 20 years of separation, Lee and Farrah finally reconnected in a meaningful way just a few months before her passing, as reported by the media. Farrah's battle with cancer, which began in 2006, marked a main turning point for both of them, and it was during this challenging time that Lee felt a compelling urge to reach out to her. He didn't feel like he could reach out to her himself. It had just been too long, a source shared with the media. Years had passed, and the silence had stretched between them. But it was obvious that Lee still cared deeply for Farrah. Instead of a direct approach, Lee decided to use a more light-hearted route. He started by sending funny messages to her through mutual friends, trying to bring a smile to her face in the midst of the heaviness of her illness. Farrah, in turn, returned the favor, sending her own playful messages back. A source said those moments were very sweet, capturing the essence of their rekindled connection. These small gestures highlighted a bond that, despite the years of separation, still held warmth and affection. Their exchanges became a subtle reminder of the shared history and memories that still lingered, allowing them to find comfort in each other during such a trying time. In the end, it was more than just two former spouses reaching out. It was two people who had once shared their lives, reconnecting in a way that was both tender and heartfelt. On her birthday, when she was courageously battling for life, Farrah received an unexpected and heartfelt call from Lee, and it was a moment that seemed to transform the years of silence between them, filled with warmth and nostalgia. According to a source, they had a 40-minute phone conversation about her life and cancer. It was such a lovely moment for the two of them. In that conversation, they not only caught up, but also shared laughter and even a few emotional moments of tears. Lee's call gave Farrah a sense of comfort and connection during that difficult time. During their conversation, they talked about the weight of her illness, but was also sprinkled with humor, showcasing the undeniable bond that still existed. Again, the media said, this was more than just a simple birthday call. It was a chance for them to reconnect on a deeper level. They joked, and they got a little bit emotional. In those moments, laughter mingled with vulnerability, reminding them of the love and shared history that had once defined their lives together. It was a poignant reminder that even in the face of adversity, the connections we forge can bring comfort and joy, no matter how much time has passed. What do you think about the devastating truth that Lee Majors revealed about Farrah Fawcett? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. To enjoy more exciting videos, click play on the video on your screen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when a new video drops.